يثبت الله الذين آمنوا بالقول الثابت في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة.
It says that this is the chosen view. This is the chosen view, that the imam should be virtuous, a scholar, muhsin qawiyan, very righteous and good and strong, and the establishment, that is what requires of him, of his imamah. That is the preferred choice. Okay. And then he says, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ, and if that is not found, okay, if that's not found, all of these qualities are not found, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنْ فَالصَّبْرُ عَلَى طَاعَةِ إِمَامِ الجَّائِرِ أَوْلَ مِنْ خُرُوجِ عَلَيْهِ. So, if you don't find this, it is better to have patience with an imam that is a transgressor, a tyrant, than doing khuruj. Now look at this statement here, which Shamsi, it goes against him. Because if khuruj was mutlaqan haram, Ibn Abdul Barr died 463. If it was mutlaqan haram to do khuruj, as they say, then why is Ibn Abdul Barr saying having patience is better, having patience against a tyrant ruler is better than revolting against him?
Okay, so here he mentions that the individual that he refers to as Shamsi, he was deceptive by not reading the whole statement of Ibn Abdul Barr. He left something out. And what did he leave out? According to him, he left out the issue of the rebellion, alleged rebellion of Hussein and Abdullah ibn Zubayr and the people of Iraq. So he said, you left it out. He said, no problem. He said, what? I'm not going to do the same to you. I'm going to leave out what you mentioned. I read what you left out, and I'm also going to read what you mentioned. But I want to bring up the page that he's reading from, that he put onto the screen of his own video. He showed this from his video. And I want to direct your attention to the first line, the line on which there is an arrow that's covering one of the words. Conveniently, Haji, you left this line out. You didn't read it. It's problematic now, because you left something out that's quite relevant to the discussion at hand. You accused Shamsi of something, but you're doing the same to your followers. You're doing the same to your viewers. You left out a vital line, a vital paragraph. Ibn Abdul Barr, he brings right after he mentioned the issue of Hussein and Abdullah ibn Zubayr and the people of Iraq, he mentioned something. Why didn't you read it for us? I'm going to read it now, inshallah ta'ala, for the people. I'm going to read it for the people, and then the people are going to be able to see why you left it out. You're going to see there's some deception going on here, some treachery. What did Ibn Abdul Barr say? He said, وَبِهَذِهِ اللَّفْظَةِ. He said, by this wording. What wording? The issue of Hussein, the issue of Abdullah ibn Zubayr, the issue of people of Iraq. وَبِهَذِهِ اللَّفْظَةِ. He's pointing by this. هذه is ism al-ishara. He's pointing to that which he just mentioned before it, literally right before it. It's connected to it. It's sequential, chronological. As soon as he mentioned it, he said, وَبِهَذِهِ اللَّفْظَةِ. As for this wording, this view, this opinion, وَمَا كَانَ مِثْلُهَا فِي مَعْنَاهَا, or any other view that's similar to this, maybe not the exact same wording, but it has the same meaning. In other words, this view of going against the leader, rebelling against the leader, and coming out against the leader, he said this view, it is a madhab تعلقت به طائفة من المعتزلة. It is a view that a group from the Mu'tazila held on to. So what is Ibn Abdul Barr saying? He said, this is not a view from Ahl Sunnah. This is a view of the Mu'tazila. You, a second ago, just told us that this is a view amongst the Salaf. And you use Ibn Abdul Barr to try and prove that point. But Ibn Abdul Barr, who brought it, who understands it better than you, is telling you, this is not a view of Ahl Sunnah. This, the only people who held on to it. Because remember, we said the view disappeared. The Salaf came and they had ijma'. They had consensus. So from that generation, no one took it from that moment onwards. Ahl Sunnah never took it. But Ibn Abdul Barr is saying some people took it. You're trying to say it's still there. I want to hold on to that view, right? He's saying the only ones who took it was Al-Mu'tazila. Who else? Should we carry on reading? وَهُوَ مَذْهَبُ جَمَاعَةِ الْخَوَارِجِ. No, it wasn't just the Mu'tazila. Also the Khawarij took this view. Why didn't you tell us this? Haji, why didn't you tell us this? At the beginning of the video you said people are calling me names, calling me a Khariji. This is not a view of the Khawarij. You said, I'm going to show you this is a view of the Salaf. That's what you said. And you put Ibn Abdul Barr, who he himself mentioned that this is not a view of the Salaf, brother. The only ones who held on to this view, because the ijma came. The ijma came, brother. The only ones who held on to it was the Mu'tazila and the Khawarij. So you're either a Kharij or a Mu'tazili. Rather, what does Ibn Abdul Barr say? He says, وَأَمَّا جَمَاعَةُ أَهْلِ السُنَّةِ وَالْجَمَاعَةِ. He says, as after mentioning that this is the view of the Khawarij and the Mu'tazila, he says, as for Ahl Sunnah, it's something else. As for Ahl Sunnah, it's something else. And then he goes into explaining the view of the Ahl Sunnah, which I'll mention to you in a second. But wallahi, this is something that really needs to be stressed. Why did you leave it? For us, it's one of two. It's either you are a treacherous, deceptive, evil, sick-hearted, corrupted individual, and you're playing with the people right now, or you're a jahil. You're ignorant. And I'm leaning towards this one because I want to have good assumptions of you. I have husn dhan of you because you couldn't read hadith properly, because you couldn't read the statements that you're reading in Arabic properly, you couldn't even say the name of Hussein radiallahu anhu correctly. I'm leaning towards having an excuse of ignorance for you. But at the end of the day, as far as the people are concerned, whether you lied and tricked the people by ignoring that statement, or whether you didn't know, they're both as bad as each other, because they result in the same thing, which is misguiding the people. Another point that I want to pick up on, you mentioned in your video that what Ibn Abdul Barr, when talking about being patient with regards to a tyrannical ruler, you said that Ibn Abdul Barr said this is awla. Awla. You try to define awla as better. Better. That Ibn Abdul Barr is saying it's better that you be patient with a tyrannical ruler. It's better you be patient with a tyrannical ruler. Now, when you say something's better, there's two things, okay? Being patient or rebelling against the ruler. According to you, what you're trying to say is that Ibn Abdul Barr is saying it's better to be patient. But if it's better, then that means opposing tyrannical ruler is not haram. This is good, but this is better. That's the point you're making, and you said it clearly in your video. You said it in your video, the 1 hour long one, and you said it in Hyde Park as well. But my brother, awla doesn't necessarily mean better. Awla can mean the correct. Awla can mean the better view is to be patient, or awla can mean the correct view is to be patient. If it means the correct view is to be patient, then that means the other view is incorrect. If it means it's better to be patient, that means the other view has some validity. It's just not. It's mafdul. This one's fadil, it's better, this one's mafdul. But if awla means correct, this means this is sahih, this is batil. How do you know which one does awla mean? The context. السياق من المقيدات. The context restricts the meaning. Interestingly, you didn't read the context for us, because a person with a mind will be able to understand some basics. So I'm going to read the context to you, and you tell me if he's talking about what's better. Because if he means this is better, that means the other one is not haram. If the other one is haram, then that means this one is correct. So let's read the statement of Ibn Abdul Barr together. So what does Ibn Abdul Barr say? He said, فإن لم يكن فالصبر على طاعة الإمام الجائر أولى من الخروج عليه. He said, being patient with regards to the tyrannical ruler is awla. Awla, what does it mean? Does it mean better? Or does it mean it's correct? Does it mean better, or does it mean it's correct? He said, it is awla min khuruji alayh. It's awla than doing khuruj. Now automatically from here, if you look at what he just previously said, when he attributed the view of doing khuruj to the Mu'tazila and to the Khawarij, automatically from that, we know that the Khawarij's view could not have been good. It was batil. So you have either the view that he's mentioning here, which is the view of Ahl Sunnah, which is to not do khuruj, or the view of the Mu'tazila and the Khawarij, which is to go against the ruler. So how can awla here mean better? No, it can only mean correct. Because if it's correct, if it means better, then the view of the Khawarij and the Mu'tazila, it's not better, but it's okay. It's okay. That's problematic.
Let's go to Tafsir al-Qurtubi. Tafsir al-Qurtubi, okay? لِقَوْلُهُ تَعَالَى, because of the statement of Allah, that my covenant, Allah saying my covenant subhanahu wa ta'ala does not extend to the transgressing people, the oppressors. Allah's covenant does not extend to them. Then what is the next statement? وَلِهَذَا خَرَجَ ibn Zubayr and because of that Ibn Zubayr revolted. Hussein bin Ali radiallahu anhum وَخَرَجَ خِيَارُ الْأَهْلِ الْعِرَاقِ, and the best of Iraq with their scholars revolting against Hajjaj, and the people in Medina rebelled against Bani Umayyah, and the battle of Harra happened. Then to be fair again, Al-Qurtubi says, look, I don't skip, I'm not like you understand? You madakhila, jamia, institutionalized, waste paper, subservient, you call it what you want. The reality is you ain't got two brain cells to think for yourselves. Okay? Imam Qurtubi says, وَالَّذِي عَلَيْهِ أَكْثَرْ مِنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ أَنْ صَبَّرَ الطَّاعَةِ الْإِمَامِ الْجَائِرِ أَوْلَى مِنْ خُرُوجِ عَلَيْهِ. He says that the majority of the ulama say that it's better to have patience against a tyrant ruler than revolting against him, which we've said. And why is that? Because it creates bloodshed, it replaces security with fear, etc. And we agree with this. So there you go.
Okay guys, look, he done the exact same thing again. The same way he mentioned Ibn Abd al-Barr, and he brought the examples that Ibn Abd al-Barr brought of Hussein bin Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhuma and Abdullah ibn Zubayr. After mentioning those incidences, he just said, oh no, Ibn Abd al-Barr, he said you could do khuruj. Or he tried to make it look like that or something like that, yeah? He didn't mention what Ibn Abd al-Barr said right after, which was when Ibn Abd al-Barr attributed this to what the Khawarij. Imam Qurtubi, he brings him now, he does the exact same thing. He mentions that Hussein ibn Ali and Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiallahu anhuma, he mentions their incidences, and we already explained about the incidences and how they can't be used for them anyway, but he mentioned the incidences. And Haji, you read this, but then suddenly you stopped. You didn't read the whole page for us. Why did you stop at this particular point? Because if I literally pick up exactly where you left off, we're going to see that you deceived the people again. Why did you leave it off? Let's read. Let's read, and then maybe the people can make up their minds with regards to maybe why you left it off, huh? Maybe you're trying to hide something. Seems like maybe so. What did he say? He said, well, I'm picking up exactly where you chose to stop. It's not even like it was on the next page or you skipped the part. Literally where you stopped, you just had to read the next sentence. وَالَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْأَكْثَرُ مِنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ أَنَّ الصَّبْرَ عَلَى طَاعَةِ الْإِمَامِ الْجَائِرِ أَوْلَى مِنَ الْخُرُوجِ عَلَيْهِ. Again, he said exactly what Ibn Abd al-Barr said, just a few changes. He said, وَالَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْأَكْثَرُ مِنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ. The position that the majority of the scholars are upon is what? أن الصبر على طاعة الإمام الجائر أولى من خروج عليه. That the position that the majority of the scholars are upon is what? That you have to be patient when it comes to the Imam al-Jair. Stop, let's pause, pay attention now. Pay attention, be attentive. We benefit from Ibn Abd al-Barr, which is what? That this view of going against the Imam was from the madhab of Mu'tazila and the Khawarij. We benefit something else from Qurtubi. He said, وَالَّذِي عَلَيْهِ الْأَكْثَرُ مِنَ الْعُلَمَاءِ. He said the majority of the scholars were upon the view of Ahl Sunnah, meaning the minority had your view. Again, you made it seem like this was common view, rampant, known amongst the Salaf, it was there. Qurtubi is telling you it's fringe. Aktharu, the overwhelming majority, they didn't have this view. Does that make sense? Again, Qurtubi rahimahullah ta'ala used the word awla. Awla, what does it mean here? Does it mean better or does it mean correct? Again, he literally quoted Ibn Abd al-Barr verbatim, except for a few words he changed. You can read it on the screen exactly what he said about the spilling of the blood and this, that and the other, and the changing of the state of safety to a state of fear and the fasad on the earth. You can see it there on the screen, inshallah ta'ala. He said the exact same thing. And what did he say after that? What did he say? Did he say this is a view from the views of the Salaf? No. Rather he said, well, awwal, the first view, which is the one that he read. Because remember, I read the second, which was the view of Ahl Sunnah that Imam Qurtubi quoted. The view of the majority of the scholars that Imam Qurtubi quoted. That's what I read. Al-Awwal, which is the first one that he read, which is the view of doing khuruj and whatnot. What did Imam Qurtubi say? He said, وَالْأَوَّلُ مَذْهَبُ طَائِفَةٌ مِنَ الْمُعْتَزِلَةِ. Again, he said exactly what Ibn Abd al-Barr said. He said that the first one is a view from the Mu'tazila, وَهُوَ مَذْهَبُ الْخَوَارِجِ, and it is the madhab of the Khawarij. Then what did he say? He said, فَعْلَمْهُ. Know that. Be educated about that. Have knowledge of that. Qurtubi is talking to you, brother. He's telling you, know this. You're taking Qurtubi out of context. You're misquoting Qurtubi. But now, inshallah ta'ala, what we've done and what we've shown is that Qurtubi is not for you, he's for us. Ibn Abd al-Barr is not for you, he's for us. So now you can add these two Imams to Al-Barbahari as well. Because they're not different with Al-Barbahari, barakallahu feek. They're in agreement with him. Does that make sense? Like I said, either you don't know or you're being deceptive. And both of them are as bad as each other.
If we go into Al-Ahkam al-Quran, okay? Al-Ahkam al-Quran by Jassas. And I mentioned that to Shamsi. And I mentioned this book to him. Maybe he doesn't even know. Maybe he doesn't even know. I'm a Hanifi myself, by the way. That the madhab of Abi Hanifa is famous in fighting against the oppressive rulers. Okay? The madhab of Abi Hanifa. Okay? So probably that's why you call me what you call me, to be honest. Because I'm Hanafi. So Imam Abu Hanifa fought against what? Look at the key words. Qital al-Zalama. To fight the oppressors against oppression. Wa immatul jawr. And the imams of transgressions.
Okay, now he brings Ahkam al-Quran by Abu Bakr al-Jassas. And he mentioned the statement of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. But now he done something very sad. Very sad. He says he's a Hanafi, right? Seems like maybe he wanted to defend Imam Abu Hanifa a bit too much. Or defend his view a bit too much. To the extent where he done something that even Abu Bakr al-Jassas didn't do. Which is what? Right after where he stopped reading at the bottom of the page. Literally from the point he stopped reading, Abu Bakr al-Jassas carried on. He mentioned the statement of Imam al-Awza'i, in which Imam al-Awza'i is actually responding to Abu Hanifa and refuting Abu Hanifa with regards to his position of believing it's permissible to go against the oppressive ruler. Why did you not read this? And why is this statement all the way at the bottom of the page? Not like the other one from Tariq al-Tabari, when you bring Sha'bi's statement, which is going to come, you put it right in the middle of the page for everyone to see. But this one, because it seems that maybe you're trying to hide something from the people, you have it right at the bottom of the page. And the last part with Awza'i, he said, we're not going to take this from Abu Hanifa. You didn't even highlight that part. Why is it everything else is highlighted except for that bottom part? Abu Bakr al-Jassas is more Hanafi than you. And he's more ghayra for the madhab than you. But like in him, from the angle of being just, when it comes to knowledge, amanatul ilmiya, what did he do? He brought the statement of Abu Hanifa. He also brought the statement of Awza'i, responding, refuting Abu Hanifa rahimahullah ta'ala. Why? Because he's more of a truthful man than you are. The same way, Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani, he was the direct student of Abu Hanifa, but he refuted his sheikh. Same way Abu Bakr al-Jassas is bringing the statement of Imam al-Awza'i. And I don't think you're going to call him a bootlicker. I think you'll be very, 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 very twisted to do that. Imam al-Awza'i is what? Imam Ahl Sham. He's the Imam of the people of Sham. Imam Malik was the Imam of Dar al-Hijrah, Medina. He's the Imam of Sham. That's what his title was. Let's go to the statement which you chose to leave off. Let's go to the statement which you wanted to, what it seems, hide from the people. Let's go to the statement which inshallah ta'ala is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. قال أوزاعي احتملنا أبا حنيفة على كل شيء حتى جاءنا بالسيف. He said, we excused Abu Hanifa for everything. Abu Hanifa, he's saying, he came with some things that were concerning. We excused him. We ignored him for everything until he came to us with the sword. يعني قتال الظلمة, fighting against the oppressive rulers. He said, when he came with that, فَلَمْ نَحْتَمِلْهُ. That's the part you didn't highlight. That's the part. Not only did you not read, at least you highlighted the rest. This part, you didn't even highlight it. He said, فَلَمْ نَحْتَمِلْهُ. He said, we did not take that from him. We did not take that from him. We cannot accept this from him anymore. So again, why is he saying this? Why? And this is the point I want you to pay attention. Why is it that Al-Awza'i is saying, فَلَمْ نَحْتَمِلْهُ, that we will not accept this from him? If it's a matter of ijtihad, like you said, then we know a principle in ijtihad. لا إنكار في مسائل الاجتهاد. Ijtihad is not something that you could quite hold someone to account for. If he done ijtihad, he made a mistake. You can't hold him to account for that. That's his own ijtihad. If he gets it right, 2 rewards. If he gets it wrong, 1 reward. So you can't do inkar of his ijtihad. But maybe it wasn't ijtihad. Maybe the reason why Al-Awza'i is saying فَلَمْ نَحْتَمِلْهُ, we are not going to accept this from him, is because this is not ijtihad, brother. This is khilaf. This is khilaf of textual evidences that are clear, opposition. That's clear. We can see that. But my concern is, again, this is the 3rd time, akhi. 3rd time we've seen you read something from the page. And what have you done? You've you've left it out. You've left it out, and it's getting a bit hard to carry on making that excuse of ignorance for you, because you have to be really, really incompetent to accidentally 3 times miss out that which is directly connected to the word where you stop reading. You actually stop reading at that point, but the next part refutes what you're trying to push. So this is starting to seem a bit suspect on your behalf. Anyway, let's go on.
Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, he said in his book Tahdhib al-Tahdhib, he affirms in his book that the early Salaf viewed it permissible, and you can see the screenshot, the early Salaf viewed it permissible to rebel against unjust rulers, even though the later Salaf said not to, due to the harms that come from it. But we're talking about the Salaf, the books of the Salaf, books of the Salaf, okay? They viewed it, and Ibn Hajar says it, that they viewed it permissible.
Okay guys, now he brings a statement of Ibn Hajar rahimahullah ta'ala. Again, this is very concerning. It's the 4th time that you've done this. The 4th time where you failed to read the entirety of the statement. The same thing that you were accusing others of doing, which is picking and choosing and not reading the entirety of the statement. You've done the exact same. And again, it's shocking because it's not like it's on the other page or on different parts of the same page. It's literally within the same paragraph. In fact, the statement that you forgot to read or you left off reading was exactly where you stopped. If only you read a little bit more, the matter would have become clear for the people. Brothers and sisters, why did you not read the rest? Why did you not make it clear to us? You know why? Because remember at the beginning I mentioned to you that initially there was 2 statements and views amongst the Salaf, but eventually the ijma' took place amongst all of the Salaf upon the one view. And I mentioned Ibn Taymiyyah, Imam al-Nawawi, Abu Bakr al-Mujahid, Qadi Iyad, and Ibn Hajar, may Allah have mercy on them all, they transmitted this consensus. Do you remember I said that? And then I read to you the statement of Ibn Taymiyyah, specifically from Minhaj as-Sunnah al-Nabawiyyah. What did he say? He said, استقر الأمر على ترك ذلك. He said the matter became established, the matter became agreed upon. What? To leave off that old view. He's telling you, yes, that view existed, but now what happened? Now what is the case? After the fitna of Ibn Ash'ath, and he specifically mentions that, just like Ibn Taymiyyah mentions Minhaj as-Sunnah al-Nabawiyyah. What happened? The matter became clear, it became affirmed, it became agreed that you leave off that previous view. It got left. Why did you not read that? Again, being deceptive and treacherous with regards to narrating the statement to the people.
Can this man be trusted, brothers and sisters? Look how much deception in this one paragraph. He didn't quote what was before. He didn't quote what was after. Allahu Akbar. Honestly, you are a fraud. Honestly, this one passage, you lied. You didn't even quote the book. You just skipped, like you missed the first half. You went to the second, quoted like a bit of a sentence from there, and then ignored the rest.
كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه محنتها وكم كرهت مصابها لكن رأيت الخير يسكب في أنا كم مرة قد ضقت من عظم البلاء بشر وشيطان يحاصرني أباه كم مرة قد أظلم الدرب ضحى وتحدر الدمع وضاقت بي رؤى كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أساه محنتها وكم كرهت